So welcome friends to this next video related to object oriented programming with C++. In this video we will be covering the formatted console input output operations and one member function that is related to iOS classes, which is width, which is used to set the width of the next output which is to be shown on the screen. It is invoked by using cout, which is an object of output stream class. So we will be having the practical session related to this member function. In our earlier videos, we saw that there C++ supports both formatted and unformatted output, and while we use the formatted while we opt for formatted output on the console, then we do have different varieties to do that. One is using the iOS member functions and second is using the manipulators. So this is the iOS member function which we are using over here. With one parameter we are passing is w, which is of int type, and this is an object of the output stream. So here is how we use this particular member function cout.width. We pass a numeric value to this. It will set the width to 10 columns for the next output. So the default width of your output will be just enough space to print the number, character or string in the output buffer. But we can change that default width by using the member function width, and we can pass on the parameter. It will set those number of columns, those number of columns for the next output that you want to have on your screen. So it only changes the width for the next output field, and then immediately it will revert back to the default settings, which are which state that it will reserve that only space on the screen which is required to print that particular number, character or string which is available in the output buffer. So let us have a practical related to this one. Here is the program to demonstrate the width function. It sets the width of the next value to be displayed on the output screen. So here we are having a variable int I, and here are the few messages. So what we are doing over here, we are not setting any parameter, we are not calling any function to set the width on the screen. So we are not adjusting the width of the next value to be displayed to 10 columns or any other number of columns on the screen. So without any setting, we are just running this loop and we are printing the value of I. So it will print on the screen 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Again we are having some messages for the screen. The setting width to the data to be displayed on the console. Here again we are printing the same values. We are running the loop 5 times from 1 to 5. But here we are using this member function cout.width 10, and we are adjusting the width of the next value to be displayed on the screen to 10 columns. So we are reserving 10 columns for the output I that we have to show on the screen. So this is, let us compile this program and run. In the first case we are not reserving, we are not setting the width, and in the second case we are setting the width and let us have a look how the output will be displayed without setting any width of data to be displayed on the console. When we are not using this cout.width member function, then output will be shown like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the 5 values will be displayed in continuity. There will be no space. And when we set the width of the data to be displayed on the console, here we are reserving 10 spaces. cout.width 10, we are reserving 10 columns for a single value. So here is the setting. It will reserve 10 columns for first value, then it will print first value. It is right justified by default, then it will again reserve 10 columns on the screen for the second value. It will again reserve, so it will work for the loop each and every type, but the delimitation you can say is it will work only for a value and again it will revert to the default values if we set this value. For example, we remove it from here and we put it before the loop and then again compile the program and run it. You will be able to notice the difference that it will not set the 10 columns for each and every value. It will reserve the 10 columns for first value 1 and again it will behave in the normal way. The default settings will be reverted which state that much space will be reserved on the screen, that was which is required by that particular number. So one column for each value will be reserved and the result output will be displayed in this way. So if you want to have your outputs in a more readable way, in a more representative way, then you need to use cout.width. You can use this particular member function to have some clarification in between different values and to format your data even in a tabular way. So this is how you can use the width member function of our iOS stream classes by invoking through the cout object of the output stream class. This is all for right now. Thanks. Have a nice time.